Hello everyone, and welcome back to my next episode on the Welsknight Patreon server. My name is Mar, and I have just finished cleaning out my shulker boxes that I keep inside of my ender chest. It was kind of, some of them were kind of full of just general rubbish, really. I also did some exploring while I was out, and, like, I just went, you know, just went for some exploring and found a shipwreck or two. So I put all the rubbish away. I found some more shiny stuff for our bling box here. We're getting really close on being able to have a diamond beacon, and emerald beacon's not too far behind it. Of course, gold and iron is not an issue, which I'm pretty happy about because it's kind of been like a miniature goal this season to have a beacon of all 4 types. Not like a 6-tier, like not like with 6 beacons on it for like all effects all at once or whatever. Just your standard 4-tier beacon of every type separated out. Unfortunately, this is all I have left for stone. My stone box over here is empty, other than a couple random blocks. And then my project box is looking kind of grim. Got some stairs, got some slabs, got 8 stone bricks. But yeah, that's not gonna last us very far at all. I also consolidated, put all my decorative style blocks in here, just to keep things tidy. Yeah, we're gonna have to do something about this. 'Cause that is not gonna do. Especially since the next sections that we start working on, there's gonna be a lot of stone placing involved. Let's dodge these guys and go downstairs. No, leave me alone. Let me go. There we go. I hope they don't follow. I imagine skeletons would just bob on the surface, so I think we should be fine. We're gonna have to do some digging. I have been currently digging, going pretty much as far as I can, away from the beacon before I lose the effect. So it's like 50-55 blocks that way, and 50-55 blocks that way. Over here you can see I have a very low ceiling here, because I have gone 55 blocks or thereabouts to this wall there. I just have to tunnel out the ceiling. And then this wall will be just like those two. So a lot of digging right there, though. I have been finding some diamonds, though, so that's always a good thing. Well, you guys did come down. Well, hello there. Let me just take you down from afar. I would have thought that they would have bobbed up and down, but apparently not. This wall here is nowhere near that far away, so I've still got a good ways. I think right here I was tunneling just to get an idea of how far I had to go before I reached that 50-55 distance. And as you can see, if I turn this off, my haste 2 is not regenerating at this distance. It is slowly ticking down. So that's pretty much going to be a lot of digging. I don't know what I'm going to do after I dig to this far, to that far. I mean, I guess I'll have to move the beacon to a new location, which I'm not sure what I think about that, because I mean, this was only ever intended to be temporary anyway, but I don't know. I don't know where I'd put it next. I don't know, because ultimately I don't want to be. I mean, eventually I won't have to move this anymore because I won't need any stone or anything like that. I suppose I could always dig further up, but down here you find diamonds, so I like to maximize my reward in that regard. But I know I'm eventually going to want to have permanent homes for my beacons, just, you know, for decorative purposes. I want to be able to put something decorative on top so that you don't just have beams of light shooting out of the ground. So I'm going to have to think about that a fair bit more. I do have one design. Like I said, I want to have a beacon for all of the 4 major, like, you know, your diamonds, your emeralds, your gold, your iron. I want to have one for each of those. And I already know one design that I'm going to use for the beacons. I just have to actually sit down and design it you know, like in Minecraft terms, you know, with the blockiness and everything. But the other three, I don't really know what to do with those yet. So if you have any ideas, preferably Skyrim-related ideas, since, you know, that's kind of what the base is all about, by all means, leave them in the comments below. But until we work on those, 4 cobblestone, yeah, I've got some digging to do. I have got some digging to do. So let me get at that. It's probably going to take me a good 20-30 minutes to get that entire ceiling removed, because that's like 10 or 15 blocks deep at least, I would say, over there. So let me get some work done here. Let me fill up our boxes. I've got a lot of andesite and not a lot of gravel because I was using it to make the concrete. And I've been using diorite and granite as trash blocks to fill in holes, you know. But let me get at this. Let me fill up our boxes, and I will be back in a short bit. And welcome back, everybody. We've got this little guy who's trying to say hello. Hi. Oh, you just pushed me off. I have one of these little guys name tagged, but he wandered off. I don't know what happened to him. I mean, we've got a couple tunnels that he could have wandered into, but I don't know. I guess I just didn't think he would. I did not actually dig out the entire section over here. It comes close. I think when we started digging, it was somewhere around here-ish. I know that because I had a whole bunch of gravel falling out of this pit here. So it would have had to have been at least to here. So, you know, that's what, like 10 blocks or so in depth that we dug out. We got quite a bit of resources from it. Obviously, as you can see, we have not quite finished. There's like another 7 or 8 maybe left to go. My pick's almost dead though, so yeah, I could run and get my other silky one and keep going, but I mean, I don't have to dig out the entire thing today, you know, so I figured I'd just get enough to tide us over for a little bit. So we got a full double shulker and a little bit extra in the stone department. Got more of our, you know, granite, andesite, gravel, diorite. This is my rubbish box for dirt and stuff like that. Got a couple of resources here. No diamonds, unfortunately, but I didn't really expect any to be that high up anyway, because we're down here at Y11, so for it to be in the ceiling, only in the ceiling, it's not horrendously likely. But we did get some decent things, you know, more lapis and redstone and coal and whatnot. So let's grab our shulkers. Hiya. You still here, huh? Okay. Let's grab our stone and let's stack up. So that one's good. And then grab all this. Put it in here. And then put the remainder in there. Alrighty. Now, before we start building, I think it would probably be not half a bad idea to run back and okay, I'm leaving, and have my pick repaired, just so that, you know, we're not going to accidentally break it while we're trying to build. That would probably not be such a hot idea. And while we're at it, I was thinking that we could take a look and see if we've made any profits at our store. I've been over there once or twice, and we have made some sales, and I grabbed the profits from those sales, but it doesn't hurt to check again and see if there's anything new. So let me make my way over there, and I'll be right back. And welcome back, everybody. Someone has set up a very nice beacon over there that has all of the, well, at least 4 of the effects. So we've got super crazy bouncy, and we're faster than normal, except over here because we're apparently out of range, but that's okay. Let's take a look at our shulker boxes and see if we've made any sales. Ooh, looky there, we have. Excellent. We're gonna have to restock, but that's, I mean, we've got plenty left, but I like to keep a full box. I don't want anybody to need them, like need maybe a large number of them and not be able to buy them, so I like to try to keep it as stocked as possible. We've sold 1 set of elytra, always good to see. This is our low tier section. No sales there. I mean, I'm not really expecting these to sell at all, really. But they're out here anyway. No sales there, no sales there, no sales there. Okay, well, that's fine. Let's turn these into blocks and put them in our bling. Ooh, we got extras. Can make one more block. There we go. Oh, getting closer to 2 full stacks. I can feel that diamond beacon. Alright, well, that's our sales taken care of, or our profits from the sales anyway. There are a lot of new shops in the area. I've taken a look at some of them already. I mean, as many of them as I could find anyhow. There's some really neat stuff that people are selling. Pretty much everything is covered at this point. By the way, look at that. Look at that. Oops, okay, I'll put it back. There we go. That is just a ridiculous display of wealth. I'm a little bit jealous. I don't know if it's solid diamond blocks all the way down, or if they're like using diamond blocks to conceal gold blocks or iron blocks or something like that. But that's still a ridiculous display of wealth. A little bit envious. But anyway, let's move on to the gold farm. Quickly repair our tools, or our pickaxe anyway, and then I'll be back. Oh goodness, the lag up there is ridiculous. And the noise, oh my goodness, it is something else. I just finished repairing my pick. It's actually a good thing I came over here because my elytra were almost broken. I actually had an accident, almost. Oop, I did not jump because I'm lagging so bad. Well, maybe I did. I'm in flight mode. Alright, well, let's leave that crazy mess behind. I almost had an accident on the way over. I was flying through the nether, and I must have bumped my head on something that hadn't rendered yet. Because one minute I'm flying along, and then the next minute I'm falling down to a very nicely sized lava lake. So that was fun. But I did survive, thankfully. It's actually this lake here, but further up here on the other side of this little tunnel. I was able to get my elytra to activate. It brought, literally, when I must have smacked my face into it, and it brought me completely out of flight. I dropped like a rock, but I managed to reactivate my elytra in time to, I did actually manage to land over here. I thought I was going to land right here in the lava lake, like literally right down here by that, like maybe by that little island. So yeah, it was, I think my heart jumped into my throat, and I might have seen my entire life pass before my eyes, but well, I survived, so that's the important thing, and I'm all repaired up, so now that's all good. So let's head back to base, and then we can start working on... Oop, who left that hole there for my head to get stuck on? Let's head back to base and keep working, and we're going to be working on starting to work on the upper portions of the base. So it's going to be a lot of tighter areas than what we've been working on before. Lots of new rooms, generally smaller rooms for the most part, I think. But yeah, let me get back home and I'll meet you there. Alright everybody, I am back at our base here, and just to recap, this is our Great Hall that we finished in the last episode. I do have brightness turned up to max, and if you'd been watching my other series as well, I mentioned there that, because my project there is going to be almost exclusively in the nether, so having brightness set to max is just something I'm going to be doing in that series, and it's more than likely that I'm going to end up forgetting to turn it off for this series anyway. I just don't want to strain my eyes when I'm working in the nether so much, and I don't know, I mean, if it bothers you guys, you can let me know and I'll turn it down, or I'll do my best to remember to turn it down while I'm in this series, but for the most part, unless you guys say anything, I'm probably just going to leave it on full brightness. I mean, it won't hurt because YouTube makes things horrendously dark anyway, so for now I'm just going to leave it set to full brightness and just, you know, go with the flow, I guess. So let's head upstairs. I'm starting to get the hang of how to get around my own base, as silly as that sounds. So here's where we've left off. This is the capstone, like the top portion of our Great Hall underneath. It looks ugly on the side for sure. In fact, if you break this block, you can see straight into the Great Hall down there. Oh. Well, now I'm putting it back in the wrong place. But what we need to do in here is cover this entire thing up. basically. And then I believe there's like a staircase here that leads to another floor at the same elevation as those arches. And I've been giving a lot of thought. Hello, chunks that didn't render. Okay, there we go. That's better. Oh, by the way, the creeper that got us in our last episode, well, didn't get us. It blew up like right here. It fell from somewhere up there. I think he must have spawned on that walkway right here, because you can see there's pumpkins there, but those are actually on the outside of the wall. The two torches you can just barely see sticking up there, those weren't there initially. So I'm thinking that he must have spawned up there and then crawled out or something like that. There were a couple of other spawnable places. I came in here, I was walking this way and got shot in the butt by a skeleton that must have spawned up there and fell down. So I've put a torch there, those sections up there were also unlit, as were those arches and those arches. I don't remember if those arches were lit or not. So I did a fair bit of lighting up inside. Hopefully I found all the spawnable places. Because first of all, I don't like getting shot in the butt, and second of all, I don't like my base being creepered, so ideally we should try to avoid that. So hopefully we'll be good now. But I have been thinking, in the original design, you know, over my creative testing world and whatnot, this floor level up here is like a mead hall type of a thing. It's pretty much flat, wall to wall, in all directions, more or less. The floor below us is a nothing, I guess. I'm sorely tempted to change that. I think it'd be really cool if we had a really, like, a grand library type of a thing going on up here. Like a 2-story library, perhaps. But if we did that, it would mean we'd have to rearrange other floors, because I still want to have a mead hall, you know, somewhere. I don't know exactly where, but I feel like we've got a lot of stone going on in this build, and I'd kind of like to have something just to change it up a little bit. I mean, we've got the Great Hall, and that's a great change. We've got the stripped birchwood down there, the dark oak. I kind of want to do something different than stone on like another grand scale, similar to the Great Hall, and I think a library would be really great for that. Of course, that means getting more resources, because I don't have a whole lot of wood on hand. And I was thinking, I don't want to give away. I mean, like, the Great Hall was the big spoiler of the base. You know, apart from the appearance of the outside, the Great Hall was like the only other real draw for the base. So all the rooms up here, I mean, they're just boxes, to be honest. There's absolutely nothing fantastic about them or secret or, ooh, I can't wait to show this to you type of a thing. So I was thinking I would actually pop over into my creative testing world, and we could maybe look at some of the rooms that we have, because it's been actually several weeks since I've looked at it, other than to take pictures of the next section, which is just this section here. So I was thinking maybe we'll just pop over there and take a look real quick and see if we can't see whether a library would fit here, and if so, whether we could maybe change the sections up here to have the Great Hall, like the mead hall, up here instead. So how about I log out and I switch over to my creative testing world, and I will be right back. Alright everyone, welcome back. This is my creative testing world. That's the dark anchor that we built. This is my base. That's my base from last season over there, my starter house. That's just a randomly generated village. So yeah, just sneak peek on what my creative testing world looks like. I also have over there the original version. Last season when I built my base, I actually built it like 3 times. I built it once in using Welsknight's texture pack, and in that the granite is not pink. It's actually just a darker version of stone bricks. So that's what the original was gonna look like, and then when I decided to use vanilla textures, I rebuilt it right there, and gave it a lot more detailing and whatnot. So just a little flashback to the last season. But here's our base this season, and I am in spectator just so that it's easy to get around. And if we come down, I believe it's down this level here, maybe. Yeah, so this is the room. These blocks here cover up the well, I can't see that, but it's the capstone for the Great Hall. So that's just the wall that we're using to cover that up. You can see we've got the ceiling here. We've got the stairs leading up. This is going to be like the mead hall area. But these two layers here are the ones that I kind of want to change to being a two-story library. It would maintain the current, more or less the current layout. Like I'd probably still have these stairs here and whatnot, but it probably like cut a hole out of the center floor here, so that you could see up and down and everything. And I kind of like that idea. And then those corner bits there are actually the bottoms of stairs, because to get to the next level you actually can't go up from here. You have to come back down, come over here, and then go up these humongous staircases. And this takes you to the further levels up, which also have, you know, arches leading outside and everything. This is like a nothing right here, although we do have some rooms here. This is where my eventual storage was going to be, because we've got that little temporary storage room, which is actually suiting us just fine. We've got plenty of double chests that are, well, empty, basically. I don't know, so because of that, I don't know if we will end up using this as storage. If we did, though, this is where it would be. It actually goes up there, as well as these stairs here. These stairs lead up to a little hallway, and then you can either keep going up, or you can come in here to the storage. So you've got more storage here, and here, so on and so forth. These are the trapdoors that lead down. And if you keep going up after this, this is where it starts getting tighter, and this is why I'm hesitant about moving the mead hall, because honestly, if I maintain the storage system I've got set up here, it doesn't really leave me any place to have a mead hall, because once you move up here, it's pretty small and narrow. Even if we knocked out all of these walls, like, these rooms aren't that big, so it'd be a really small mead hall, I feel like. And I don't know how well it would look here either. And then you could keep coming up over here, and it just keeps getting smaller. Still got some rooms and everything. It feels like you're going up to the attic, you know? You just keep going up and up and up, and like the shape of the rooms gets weirder because you've got the ceiling to contend with. And then you've got the little, like, these are like little lookout tower type things. You just come up this little bitty ladder, and then you can look out the window on all the, well, most of the sides anyway. But yeah, this is basically what we've got left to do with our base. It's just a matter of, do we want to do it, I guess? Do we want to turn this into a two-story library? Or do we want to leave it as a mead hall and whatever this room is? I mean, we could turn this into a library, but then it'd only be one floor. And I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. It's hard to decide because I mean, this is what it's been for months and months and months. This is what the plan had been, and to change it this late in the game, I don't know. Let me mull this over. Let me try a few things, put on my thinking cap, and I'll make a decision one way or the other, and then I'll be back and we'll start working on whatever that is, whether it's continuing with the current build or changing it up. I'll be back and we'll take it from there. Alrighty guys, I have done my thinking. My thinking cap has been used. I think it has given me a possible solution. Now it's your turn. You gotta put your thinking cap on too. Or at least your imagine this looked different cap. Now, I have decided these two rooms here, the one here, and then if we fly over to this side, the one over here, these are some of our larger sections of storage in this would-be storage room. Since the rooms up here are significantly smaller. And so my concern would be, even if we don't need the storage space now, what if we need it later? You know, what if we want to expand our storage somewhere down the road? So I'm thinking, but if I rearrange the layout of this room, knock out some of these basically unnecessary walls, these are here only for aesthetics, but I'm sure I could come up with an aesthetic alternative that was more functional. I think we could do away with these two rooms down here and just have our storage on this level, which I honestly am kind of in favor of for a utility purpose as well, because who wants to have half their storage here and have to constantly be going up and down ladders or using the staircase to get to the rest of it, you know what I mean? So I think we could get away with having our storage only on this level if we removed all these walls. So the next hurdle is, what about the stairs? Because this is a pretty big staircase, and even if you, and this is the part where you have to imagine it's not there, imagine these walls aren't here, all of these walls, you still have a giant staircase coming down in the middle of your mead hall, and that's the benefit that this room had. You had the staircase over here, kind of out of the way, and you had a very large open space. And when I think of mead halls, I think of a very, very long and wide table with chairs all around it. It's not a cafe, you know, so the staircase would be a problem. But if I treat this staircase similar to this one, I'm thinking we could make it work. Now, how many stairs is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If my eyes aren't deceiving me, I think that's 6 stair blocks anyway. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think. So yeah, the elevation change is even bigger down here than it is up here. So if we do the same thing, have this exact style of a staircase, only it leads up here. I mean, it wouldn't be as wide, like these corner bits here probably wouldn't be able to come out quite so far, which means we could potentially have a problem with our head bumping into them, but I'm sure we could work something out. Then we could have the staircase like making right angles to go down instead of coming straight down. And then the staircases would come out somewhere over here, and that would free up a fair bit of space in this chamber. We might even keep this little hallway here. I'm not sure, to give a little bit of separation. But I'm not 100% sure on that either, to be honest. Because I definitely want to maximize the space that we would have for the mead hall, but I think it's doable. I don't. Honestly, if it was in here, I would probably have a hard time thinking of ways to fill all of this space with tables. You can only do so much with tables, you know, and barrels of mead, I suppose. So I think we're gonna go ahead and turn this layer and this layer into a library. Use this layer as the mead hall, and then storage up here. I think I've decided to go ahead and do that. Which is going to be interesting, because I didn't really think I would be changing the layout of the base this drastically so late in the game, or at least interior design related. But I think I'm going to go ahead and do that, which means we need to get some more resources, namely wood, because who's ever heard of a medieval style library that wasn't, you know, heavily based on wood, you know? Because I think I'll want to use spruce and dark oak for sure. Maybe some normal oak, probably no acacia, birch, or jungle. I forgot what it was for a moment. I probably won't use any of those 3. Birch, if it's stripped, maybe. Though I don't know whether I actually have a need for that or not. So this means that I have to do some more resource grinding before we can actually begin the construction. So let me get at that. Let me get some wood, and then I'll be back. Back on the actual server. And welcome back, everybody. I have done a bit of work in here. I've put in our staircase here. I have not finished filling in the floor over here. I'm trying to get this side done first before I do that one. And I also have not put in the ceiling. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to cover up those pumpkins as well. I don't know what exactly I'll do on that side. I've also got slabs up here for the next floor, but I'm gonna have to probably take those out and replace those with full blocks so that they fully will cover the pumpkins. Because you can see they're not only going to be visible from the bottom, but they're even visible from the side. So I don't know what I'll have to do there, but I'm sure I'll come up with something. I've been having a hard time figuring out what to do here. I know I wanted there to be open access. I was thinking of maybe hanging down like chandeliers from the ceiling down through the holes. And I decided that when you come up here, you either are going to want one large open area, or you're going to want two smaller open areas separated by like a little walkway here. For now, I've been going with the walkway idea right here. I don't know if I'll keep that. But regardless of which method I go with, I'm having a hard time deciding which type of blocks to use and which design to go with, because I want there to be a railing, but I also want it to look good from both the top and the bottom. I am not at all convinced that this is the best design. In fact, I'm very tempted to see what dark oak would look like instead. I don't really like the look of the stairs from up here, though. This doesn't really look like I really want to use fences. But the thing I really hate about fences, I'm sure there's places where this is beneficial, but I don't like that they don't connect to cobble walls. I find that to be annoying. Because I like using these as like beam supports. But I would also very much like to be able to have normal fences like unsupported, coming off the side, like over here. Like if these connected, and these wooden bits went up a couple more blocks to the ceiling, I think that would look a lot better, than it does right now, or if it was like all fences, or if it was all cobble walls. I don't want to use all cobble walls, because that leaves us in the same problem of, oh, it's very gray, and it's also bulkier than the fences, so I don't know. I'm gonna have to mull this one over and see if I can't come up with some solution that looks good and works good, because, I mean, with all this fence work going on here, and the stairs and everything, it doesn't leave a whole lot of room for the actual bookshelves, you know, and that's the whole purpose of having a library, is to have bookshelves. So I'll have to think about it. If you have any suggestions, please go ahead and leave them down there in the comment section. I'd like to hear your thoughts on it if you have any ideas on either blocks to use or designs or something. And I'll continue to work on this in my spare time as well, and see if I can't come up with something myself. But until next time, I guess this is where we'll just leave it. And hopefully when we come back, we'll have an idea of what we're going to do here, and we'll be able to finish off this room. But for now, I am going to call it here. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I know it was a bit more like a planning episode. You got to see the sneak peek of the rest of the base, well, more or less, since we're now changing it. But I hope you've enjoyed it nonetheless, and I'll see you next time. Until then, have a wonderful day. Bye!